Welcome to the Get Back, music work talk in Central Texas, Fridays at 1 p.m. Brought to you by the Austin Federation of Musicians and with the Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee. The Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee are members of the Austin Federation of Musicians, Local 433 of the American Federation of Musicians, aka the Musicians Union. Some of us work as contractor 1099 workers, and others work as employee W-2 workers in various aspects of the music industry.
The goal of this session is to share our experiences, including trials and tribulations related to the Texas Workforce Commission, or TWC, with other musicians in the state of Texas to aid in navigating the TWC application process. We are not experts in unemployment assistance. We are musicians.
The information contained herein does not constitute either legal advice or an official pronouncement or a position of the Austin Federation of Musicians, but rather is only the personal opinions of the panelists. The panelists do not give legal advice or make official rulings on agency matters, should not be cited as authorities in any matter before the agency or when dealing with agency staff about a case, and must minimize their involvement with administrative processes. They also do not give legal advice on any other matter, and any information they should give should not be used as a basis for taking any employment-related action. Before taking any employment action that could adversely affect an employee, or before using any sample form or policy you may obtain from this group, you should consult a licensed, private sector, employment law attorney of your choice. All right, welcome to the Get Back for December 3rd, 2021. I'm Aaron. Joining me are Russell and Mark. Hello, fellas.
Howdy doody.
We always talk about the links at the bottom. If you're watching live, we have kind of our standard links down in the show description for the various websites, including the union website. And if you're watching after the fact, we'll have the links to the articles that we're discussing as well. But we won't have those up until we're done. Just so there's still a surprise, right? Got to preserve the mystery a little bit here. We always do beverages too. I'm drinking coffee here out of my Blues Crawlers mug. What are y'all drinking there?
Good old green tea here.
Spring water.
Man, so consistent.
Although I've kind of changed brands a little bit.
I noticed that.
It's still spring water.
Man, we got to go after that endorsement deal with those guys.
I've just kind of gotten lazy. This place is right around the corner from me.
Right.
So I just walk over there and get it.
Hey, there you go. Man, you got to stay hydrated. Man.
Yep.
Well, gosh, there's lots of stuff in the news today or this week. I guess probably the most important thing for us, I suppose, might be the new variant, maybe. Well, I guess they discovered that kind of last weekend, the Omicron variant of the virus. There's not a lot that they know yet, though. At least that is public. Have you guys heard anything new about the Omicron variant yet? Or
Well, supposedly the people that have gotten it are the ones that have been vaccinated, but they've gotten mild cases of it, and no one has had any deadly symptoms or anything. So they think that the vaccine has really been kind of helping, and they think that the booster shots will kind of aid that along better, because the one guy that they know who went to South Africa was actually going to get the booster shot, and he got the virus before he got the shot.
Oh wow, okay, interesting. Yeah, so we're kind of waiting on that specific data, but little pieces are coming out as the week has gone by, and
and there's some information from Israel that there's a fairly high rate of reinfection with the Omicron variant. So in other words, people who've had one of the other variants seem to be still able to get, in other words, they don't have a lot of natural immunity to the new variant because of having had COVID with one of the other variants.
Wow.
Which is kind of fearsome.
Yeah.
kind of bites.
Yeah. Do you have an article on that you could send me for the show notes?
Yeah,
If
I'll
if
find it.
if you can, yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The article that I was looking at that is sort of significant in the Statesman today is really just another. They do those fact checks kind of in the front of the paper, and yeah, they're doing a fact check on our warnings about virus variants meant to keep the fear going in quotation marks, and of course they're not. But it's just significant to me that just even our local paper is still having to like fight these kind of ridiculous. I hate to call them conspiracy theories, but they're kind of a conspiracy theory where they think they're naming the variants to make them more fearsome. They're just using Greek letters. That's all it is,
Yeah.
And yeah, there was something on the late night shows last night where if you reverse, if you mix up the letters in Omicron, it spells moronic or something like, it's like what?
I saw it.
Yeah, oh man. So
Yeah.
yeah, but even our our local news institution, is having to fight these kind of like misinformation, and that's significant in and of itself because that's one of the things that has screwed up the efforts to get people vaccinated to begin with, and so we just got to keep talking about it and keep the truth moving around, and geez.
Well, it seems like your best bet is to still get vaccinated.
Absolutely.
You didn't want to tackle this stuff without some sort of protection.
Yeah. And they're saying that the masks, probably go back to wearing masks when you can indoors. Obviously, you can't while you're playing saxophone or a wind instrument, but, as much as we were doing before, kind of going back to that, which is disappointing, but, is a relatively mild inconvenience, I think, and it's cheap. It's a lot cheaper than everything else, just wearing that mask.
Yeah.
So,
A lot cheaper than a ventilator.
yeah, right. Oh my gosh, yeah, yep. So, but that's going to affect our employment. It's going to affect it's going to affect our our audiences and how many are willing to come out, are comfortable coming out. So, all we can do to stay positive about all the mitigation measures, I think will help our audiences come back, keep coming back. Because they've been roaring back. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but there's been a lot of people at the shows that I've been playing the last 2 months, and which has been amazing. It's been so wonderful, and yeah, let's keep that going, I hope. So, all right, well, let's see, what else? Anything else on that topic that we need to hit? Yeah, I think we're good. All right.
I wish we had more information.
Right. We're just
Yeah.
literally starving for information about that
Yeah.
exact topic. Yeah, you're right.
We don't know what we don't know yet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. It'll be interesting to maybe watch these shows 6 months or a year from now and be like, oh, they didn't even know that yet. That's funny. But maybe hopefully we'll all laugh then. But we ain't laughing now. But yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Maybe the next topic is our brothers in the Major League Baseball union are being locked out by their bosses for the first time since '95, or no, it's first stoppage since '95. I think was '95 a strike, and now this is a lockout. Is that right? Or?
Yeah, they're gonna
I
lock them
think so.
out.
Yeah, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it's. I mean, it's relevant to our union, and that it's a union, and sports players they're similar to performers in some ways, where they sort of garner a different range of compensation according to their status and popularity sometimes, and so it's a good thing to pay attention to because we can learn a lot from what's going on over there.
Oh, sure. You won't have anybody crossing picket lines with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's all for one with that union.
Mm. Yeah. Well, and of course, this isn't even a strike. This is a lockout. So this the employer
Right.
saying,
It says you can't come to work.
you can't come to work. Yeah. So it's like, whoa, okay. And I think the employers are trying to they're trying to get the players to come to an agreement before spring training starts. I think is what they want to do, because they don't want
Well,
to have
it,
another
it,
strike during the World Series again. I think, right?
yeah, it comes down to we want you to give back money.
Mm.
That's the bottom line. And the players are like, no, we won't do that.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, man. So this could wind up being a lockout and a strike at the same time, I suppose. But man,
And you can't blame them. You don't want to give up benefits that you've already had.
yeah. And the players, I mean, they are the sport. They're the ones who do it. It's very similar to our situation. Live music venues, live music, institutions, live music recordings, stations, record labels, film companies. We're the ones that actually do the music for all that stuff, and so, yeah, it's worth fighting for, because, it ain't easy to make a living in this business. It's not easy as a baseball player either, so at least not at the beginning.
Right, yeah.
Man.
You're down in Double A somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
In the back of a station wagon.
Mm-hmm. But that can really help us kind of think about these issues, because it's kind of similar, but it's a totally different business from ours. So that we'll keep watching what's going on down there. While we're talking about work stoppages, we definitely should talk about San Antonio Symphony. Of course, they're still on strike. And there is an urgent correction. I think our office sent out to the members that there was a picket tomorrow on Saturday, but it's actually on Monday. And that information had been sent from the San Antonio office a couple of times, and then the error was found, I think yesterday, and so
it's 12 to 2 on Monday. Right?
On Monday, yeah, not on Saturday. That's important. Yeah. I unfortunately, I was looking forward to Saturday, but yeah. So it will be Monday though. So, and that's a good way to, to show support and solidarity down there. You can also, follow them on their social media channels, the Musicians of the San Antonio Symphony, or mosas.org is their website, and it's possible to donate money to them on that website. There's a PayPal thing.
Make whatever donations you can, because it all helps.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you imagine. I mean, how many gigs a year does a major symphony orchestra like that do? I mean, it's over 100. For a season. You imagine having that many gigs pulled out from under you all of a sudden, all at once. Like, wow. That's a lot of work. And it's never an easy situation going on strike. That's not something that anybody looks forward to.
So there has been no movement at all in the symphony members' strike.
Not from the management that I know of.
Not budget.
The musicians have been doing all kinds of stuff. They've been contacting new donors. They've been suggesting different fundraising initiatives. They've been fundraising, and they've been putting on concerts. They've been doing these things. They've been putting out leaflets at the different shows at the Tobin Center, and so they're doing all kinds of stuff. I don't think I think the management has done some interviews that have had some really erroneous claims in them, and those are documented on the musicians' Facebook page and on their website. So
management is just outright hostile toward them.
Yeah, it's really strange.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah. Because again, what is a symphony orchestra without musicians? It's nothing. There's nothing there, So, yeah, it's disappointing to see that for sure, and we hope those musicians can get back to work soon. Yeah. But, all right. Well, what else have we got here? On the music front, I guess we can stay on the music front for a minute here. Our general membership meeting back a few weeks ago our local voted to endorse the American Music Fairness Act, which is an act in the United States Congress that's going to finally pay American musicians for radio play for for all the performers, not just the songwriter, but all the performers deserve to get a payment when their recording is performed on radio, and that has never happened in the U.S., although it happens in all other developed countries. So one of those big loopholes that we're still trying to close, and we know that Dionne Warwick and Frank Sinatra were working on this, 50, 60 years ago, and we're still trying to get it there. Of course, 50, 60 years ago, the argument was that, oh, well, you guys make so much money off of selling records. I mean, what more could you possibly want?
Right.
But we know how that is today.
Don't be greedy.
Right, yeah.
Well, it's the same lack of logic that you don't get paid for your song in a movie in U.S. movie theaters, but you do in France.
There you go, yeah.
Or Britain,
That's right.
or Spain. I mean, what? Hello?
Yeah.
I never understood that. That
No.
never made any sense to me at all.
It doesn't make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah. And of course the only way to change that is through union membership. The union is really the only voice that can get at that table where those things are being decided, that it actually represents musicians in a democratic fashion. There is there's something else going on. So as a result of that vote at the general membership meeting, the union office sent letters to both Texas senators, God bless them, and all of the I think there's like 27 House of Representatives from Texas. We sent that out to all of them because we might as well, because we're in Austin, right? So they
Right.
usually see that Austin Federation of Musicians. They're like, oh, that's the capital. All right, so we enjoy a little more pull there with those folks. But we sent letters to all of them, just letting them know that, hey, our local voted, to endorse this. Please get this done. It's a century overdue probably.
Gone are the days when we could walk up there and follow up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and
Knock on the door.
I know you used to do a lot of that stuff, Russell. Yeah.
Just show up. Hi, I'm from local. Now I'm like, oh, you got COVID, get out of here. We can't talk.
We're going to do that again. We're going to get back to that, And those politicians appreciate that. They appreciate an in-person meeting, I think, when we can spring it on them. So, yeah, man. The Austin, Texas musicians, the Facebook group, is doing some kind of like panel discussion on that, which would be cool. It's a little puzzling why they don't have anyone from the union on their panel, but it's being sponsored by Sound Exchange, which was actually created by the union, but there's no one from Sound Exchange on their panel either, so that's a little puzzling there, but they are talking about it. That's the important thing, and that's Wednesday at noon on the 8th, and I'll put the link to that in the show notes, because we got to talk about this. That's one of the problems with doing this kind of thing, is a lot of musicians aren't aware that this happens, and they're not aware that this is a discrepancy with other countries, and so the more we can spread that awareness, the better it'll be. So that'll be cool. So I'll put that in there in the show notes. There's like an Eventbrite. You have to register for it, and it is an online thing. So I think it's probably on Zoom or something like that. So,
Is that this coming Wednesday?
Yep, on the 8th. Yep, December 8th at noon. So be interesting to hear, what's going on. Our friends at the Texas Accountants and Lawyers for the Arts are involved with that as well. That's a great organization. You can get legal help or accounting help. Although it doesn't really apply to personal matters, it has to be music business matters, of course, or arts business matters, I guess, which is good. That's what we do. So those are the folks that usually help us out with a tax workshop in the spring, and yeah, we've had some real great experiences with them. Austin Music Foundation is also involved, and that's a great organization that we've done some stuff with. They're the ones that usually do that Feel the Love Expo in February, which has all the different music organizations kind of do like little booths, and musicians can come and just kind of learn about all the different music organizations, of which there are a lot in this town. So many organizations for music in this town, which is great. It's the music town, right? We're supposed to be the live music capital, so yeah. But, all right. You guys heard anything else about that? About the Music Fairness Act?
Nothing else.
Cool. The other thing I had on my agenda was just a mention about the from Wednesday that Tesla officially moves their headquarters to the Austin factory here. You know, the Tesla company, the electric car company, and everybody was kind of expecting that. That's significant because you know that they're hiring our brothers, you know, with the electricians union, you know, to build that factory out there, you know, and lots of other union construction workers. But we know at least to begin with, those jobs in the factory are not going to be union jobs, at least at first, unless we, you know, our workers here in Texas get it together and unionize. But we know Tesla has fought that in California, and that's one of the reasons why they moved to Texas. So it's just kind of a greater labor movement issue, big tent. Yeah, you guys heard anything about that, about the factory out there in Del Valley? Or
Not much.
me neither. Yeah, I did see. Well, it was a couple weeks ago. We saw an ad for their facility down by Brownsville. They were looking for like a mixologist. Did you see that? like a really fancy bartender.
Yeah.
to go down there, and I don't know if that was for, you know, Musk's personal suite,
That
or
probably is.
I don't know.
But you did hear that he's bringing most of his management team
Mm-hmm.
with him down here
Mm-hmm.
with that express written purpose of not letting union guys get into the management team.
Oh wow, yeah, I could see that.
He's doing that by design. So
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing, of course, is that if they're from California, they may be already more pro-union than a lot of folks in Texas anyway. But
that's kind of why they want out of California.
I know that's exactly
They're
right.
Pressure to get with the union, and they're like, we got to get out of here.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see how that happens. And of course, for our purposes, I mean, you know, in the music business, we may be able to squeeze out some entertainment jobs from what they're setting up here and maybe in Brownsville. I don't know, but be interesting to see what we can do. I mean, if they're yeah, especially if they're moving management people in, you know, they're going to have, just like when the Army does that or the military does that, you're going to have entertainment.
Got to have something.
Otherwise, people are going to get in trouble, right? So,
That's right. What's that song? How you gonna keep on the farm after they seen Paris or whatever that song goes?
oh yeah. I think you're right. Yeah. Yes, indeed, man. So, yep. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that story as well. Yeah. Shucks. Seemed like there was something else I was going to bring up about something. I don't know. Yeah, it's slipping my mind.
There is one more sidebar to, and this is kind of like not really for music, but you should watch that guy's Twitter feed, because at Elon Musk at times he puts up stock that you can get, because he gets kind of weird about owing big money, and he'll sell off stock. And he does it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Or he like lets people know that it's for sale or something like that on there.
Yeah, you'll just see, you know, a Twitter feed that says, if you can convince me that I can cure world hunger by releasing $1 million worth of stock, I'll do it. And a half hour later, you can see where he's put it up.
Wow.
Huh.
He does bizarre things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you just kind of, you know, it's kind of a sidebar. You can get enough stock and make a little cash.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe we'll be. Maybe if their headquarters are here, we will be closer to uh, the center of that that storm of random stuff. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah.
And he does it because he goes into debt. He needs cash real quick, and he'll sell off some chunks of
Mm.
stock.
So he's not
So,
really doing it to end world hunger. He's just doing
of course, he didn't get
Yeah.
He's,
garnering publicity that way,
yeah,
I guess. But interesting. Yeah.
he's
Man.
kind of an eccentric kind of guy.
Yep. Yeah. Oh man. Well, you guys have any other stuff you've been hearing about that we should bring up?
Well, there is the money for the rent and utilities that's running out.
But it's still there.
It's still there, but it's that's going to come to an end pretty quick. So if you need it, now's the time.
You're talking about Austin, the rent relief,
Hmm.
which is called Rent. The program's called Rent, which I think somebody thought was cute, but actually I think it makes it more confusing. But
Yeah.
but yeah, apply for rent relief with the Rent program. Yeah. Well,
And utility, they'll help you with both.
wow. Okay. Yeah. And has there been an indication that that process has gotten any easier?
From what I understand, it has. They've streamlined it where you can just kind of fill out. There's 2 forms,
Mm-hmm.
and you submit it, and it's kind of a waiting period, which that doesn't really help. But it's supposed to be a lot easier now, and you can kind of get in the pipeline.
Well, good.
But people know about it now, so the fund is kind of running out. So now it's time to get in if you need it.
Yep. Yeah, especially if you got back rent going back, this
Months.
year,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's that's not going away. It's you got to find some way to take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah, I think that emergency broadband support program is still around also.
Oh yeah.
It's a federal thing that gives you up to $50 a month towards your internet connection or phone bill.
Yeah.
So I got it, and I've had it for 2 or 3 months. I've had to fight with my phone company every month to make sure that they give me it, but
Right.
it's a pretty quick and easy application. Emergency broadband support.
What is the? What are the requirements? Is it income based or just whether you're using the internet
Yeah.
connection to work? Or?
Yeah, I don't think it has. As I remember, the requirements were pretty minimal. It's an application. You have to go through the whole application process, and I think maybe it's dependent on how much money you're making. But I think most musicians would probably qualify.
It's always hard to tell with us musicians. I know it seems like
right.
we're always under the 8 ball as far as that goes. But yeah, will you send me a link to that? And I'll put that in the notes as well.
Yeah.
That'd be
That's a
great.
necessity for us.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I guess anything else before we sign off? That's all I can think of for today. Well, there's a new issue of the International Musician coming out to union members. I think the digital version's already out, and the physical one is in the mail. I haven't gotten it yet. Have you guys gotten the new International Musician
Not
yet?
yet.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah. We probably should next week. We still haven't discussed our international president's article from last month's International Musician about freelancers. There was a really good article. It was like reprinted from the 80s, and he just updated it, just about why freelancers should join, would want to join the union, and why it's really probably the best thing you can do as a freelancer. So we should probably discuss the points in that article maybe next week, and I'll send you guys a link to that so we can bone up on it. But yeah, all right. Cool, man. Any further topics?
I don't have anything else.
All right, cool, man. Well, you, the listener or the viewer, if you're in the music business, don't give up. We're going to get through this thing. We're going to get back to where we were. There's, I think we could just say this every week. There's no reason to accept lower pay than before the pandemic. Go for what you were getting before the pandemic or greater. Because there's an argument to be made. Our work's even more valuable, but it was definitely undervalued before the pandemic. So we got to go higher. Like Sly said, Sly and the Family Stone, take it higher. Yes. So we will see you next week on the Get Back, where we'll discuss similar issues. And have a good week.